Okay, so this one kind of ran like, sort of like a mini reunion. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode 10. Like I said, it kind of ran like a little bit of a mini reunion, whereas everything, like they were patching up stuff. I said, okay. And I think it really is just that they know that the storylines that are going, we're going to get bored with them, and they just kind of are moving it along. So yeah, let's talk about this little mini reunion. Candiace ends up backpedaling, pussy popping, because she realizes that that body shaming was an issue. See, good old, it was whatever it was. It was an argument. They're having an argument. When you're in your argument, you say whatever you need to say to win. Period. And that's what was going on. Candiace was going hard, and I said, Candiace, now you letting Ashley have it. But Ashley is going to get you. And I saw Ashley, the way she was trying to rally the women. Instead of like firing back at her, she was trying to rally her. She was getting ready to do the whole character assassination thing on her. She was getting ready to do a real attack on you. And I seen it. I said, that's what you're doing? That's that coworker attack. It ain't so much of that personal, regular get down and let's scrap. It's more of that personal attack. I'm going to attack your brand. So I'll go after your character by saying that, oh, your body's shaming me. And then, that would just translate right off of here onto social media. And then you basically try to cancel her out, is what you do. It's a character attack. Listen, it's now people in entertainment, they do it. They do it. It literally happens all the time between YouTubers. When YouTubers such as myself, when they get into it, the smart ones try to assassinate the other one's character and try to make their people flip on them, make their subscribers go away, or their sponsors look at them different and kill their sponsorships. It's a smart attack. It's a smart attack, but that's what I saw from Ashley. That's why she wasn't firing back at her. And Candiace caught it. And Candiace pulled backpedaled, pussy pop, and was like, oh, well, no, I wasn't body shaming you. You were. But, I mean, it is what it is. And ain't nobody thinking about Ashley. But you were. And the thing is, nobody could destroy your character like you could destroy your character, Candiace, because you say all kind of problematic shit. You do. It is what it is. Child, but that's what it was. I just wanted to point that out. That's what it was, and that's what was going on. Anyway, moving on. Mia, then, as they finish that up, and, they get back to not... I hate you to death. They're back at ground like you. So them two, that's where they are. Mia delivers Karen's message to Gizelle. She wants an apology for the word dead being used. Child, that doggone Gizelle doubled down one more time in it and said, listen, let me explain something to you. Before I apologize to Karen Huger, Ray and Karen will be dead before I do an apology. I said, oh, exact same thing. The tactic that Karen is using is the exact same thing. It's a character assassination. Look at this. Look at that. She said that it was politically incorrect. It's horrible. Same thing. Same thing. So that was that. Moved on. Child, Karen gets together, and this is weird. She gets together with the Travel and Tourism Board of Surrey County, and she's filming this video and commercial You know, it's like an infomercial or whatever, kind of, for people to come to Surrey, but they're actually filming it in Potomac. They ain't slick. They know what they is doing. That was shady. Because we've seen Surrey, and Surrey's not as pretty as Potomac. So you're literally doing all this advertising about come to Surrey, come visit Surrey, and you're filming in Potomac, and they get to Surrey, honey, and Surrey don't look nothing like Potomac. Potomac, it was where they filmed looks like a real pretty park. Surrey looks like a farm. There's a difference. There's definitely a difference, but whatever. Whatever. I said that's shady. Anyhow, moving on. I'm going over to Gizelle's house. Gizelle and her girls were sitting there talking, and she was just basically doing more of the same. I'm laughing when she kind of talks to them, and it seems that them girls are smart. Her girls are smart, and I guess some of how she talks to them in an adult fashion about certain things, so they get it, and it's things that young women need to know. They got it, but it was more or less the conversation was never lose yourself in a man. Never lose yourself in a man. It talks about when she got divorced from Jamal and when their grandma got divorced from their grandpa, how they didn't know how they were going to support themselves because they had literally put everything they had, all them years, into the man. They had nothing going on for themselves. So they were like very, very nervous, but in a really bad spot because you were totally dependent on this man. And now reality sets in. What you get ready to do? What you doing, Hanny? What's going to happen? So that was real smart. And then she was saying that she never wants to marry again. And the girls was like, oh, well, I mean, we want you to be with somebody and be happy or whatever, if that's what you want to do. She said she never wants to get married again. I said, okay, interesting. It was an interesting conversation. It was cool. Moving on, let's go on over here with Chris and Candiace. Chris that had him a couple of drinks. Had him a few little toddies, honey. So he come in, Candiace comes in the house. She's still not speaking. You know how Candiace does. She called herself hold a grudge. Meanwhile, she was wrong, but, you know, call herself hold a grudge. And he basically gets to telling her, you know, you full of crap. This is all on you. You treat me like what I have going on doesn't matter. And then she ends up listening to him instead of fighting. And then she apologizes, and then both of them is crying. I said, Lord have mercy. Okay, y'all. Both of them is crying. And, that was that. And I laughed because she said, are you drinking? It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He was like, yes. And she was like, and I think she knew then. I have a feeling that when Chris get real sauced up, honey, Chris will cuss your ass out. And I think she knew that. And she's like, okay, it's time for me to stop playing this game, honey. But anyway, it was cute. They both was like, he said, don't start that crying because then you're making me cry. And she gonna go throw him a napkin. He gonna say, I don't need no tissue. That's what you do. And he's like, I don't need no tissue. I just laughed at the two of them. They fun. You know I like Chris. Chris is funny to me. But they did their whole little thing. And then this is the thing. The very things that Gizelle and Dorothy said, Candiace literally let creep right into her house. You sat and told us that none of these things were an issue for you all. And then when we look around, you literally allowed those things, those very things, to creep right into your home and create a problem where there was no problem. Where you told us this weeks ago, that ain't no problem. That ain't what's going on here with us. So, girl, stop. Stop letting people get into your head about your husband. You chose your husband for a reason. He chose you. Don't let nobody do that to you again, Candiace. You know, you say he's good. From what we've seen, I like the fella. Don't let nobody creep into your head and cause division inside your home. Don't do that. That's stupid. If y'all going to argue and fight about something, you all decide to fight about something. You don't have nobody usher you into a fight. That's just bull crap. Anyway, moving on. Wendy and her husband and all her kids, they were outside playing. Very cute. they're out there. Wendy's playing football. I said, go ahead, Wendy. They doing their thing. And then Wendy and her husband decide to go ahead and talk to their boys about police officers and violence. And the violence against black people and how to keep themselves safe. We've seen this throughout all our reality shows. People who have anybody who has the brown boys, honey. There's always a scene where we are, you know, because a lot of them have young children like Robyn. Just on, I don't feel like going through all the shows, but they've all had to do it. Yandy had to do it with her boys on Love and Hip Hop. We're seeing it on all our shows because that's what's actually going on in our houses, in the houses of folks that have, you know, have children and stuff, and they're black. It's going on in all of our houses, you know. So they're explaining it, and it was very cute that one of Wendy's sons said, you know, how about if I just become someone, when I grow up, I become someone like Martin Luther King Jr., who actually brings the white people and the black people together and there be no violence at all. And so that was very, very cute. And I laughed because I said, isn't that basically, that's kind of the route of what his mama's doing. You know, his mother does that type of job where she actually speaks about equality and things of that nature. So it didn't seem that far off to me for him or one of them to end up with those kind of goals. I found it very, very cute. I really did. I said, okay, cool. So come on, young man. Why not? Why couldn't you? You most certainly can, little boy. You sure can. So that was cool. And I think that really left Wendy feeling pretty proud. Anyway, moving on. Let's go over here with Ashley and her baby. She go dragging her baby out to a lunch with Karen. And every time her baby, as soon as Dylan sees Karen, he went to crying. I said, okay. So now you're 2 for 2, Karen, with her kids. He just a crying. She over there feeding them her breast milk and all of this in the restaurant, you know, normal Ashley stuff. And Karen was like, girl, so we're doing breastfeeding right in public? She's like, yeah, girl. Whipped her titty right on out. You know, that's her. And she started talking about how she wants to be called Diamonds instead of Grandma or Nana. She would like to be called Diamonds, and said her kids, both her son and her daughter, was like, no. And I'm laughing. I said, does Karen, excuse me, hey Karen, does Karen know that Diamond was a pole dancer? Did you know that Diamond was a dancer? You want to be called Diamond? I just laughed. I said, only Karen. They started talking about her and Gizelle. And it just, neither one of them wants to give in. And that's all that there is to it. Neither one wants to give in. Moving on. Robyn and her therapist. She goes over to the therapist, and really the therapist breaks it down. Basically, Robyn is afraid about help coming in with her business. That's a big part of what she's doing. And she said, she's tired. Like the business. See, and again, I don't know if you just use this as a, if you used it as a storyline and it wasn't really smart, because here we are and now we're all like, you're a lazy bum. You just laying around. You're not doing what you got to do. But then now you're kind of opening up the story, and you basically are tired is why you are sleeping like this, because the business has actually kicked off and the business is really doing well. And you don't have very many workers because you're understaffed, because you are nervous about really opening up to the staff that you really need to help run that business, because you're afraid of actually picking the wrong people and getting done like you got done before. And it's just like she's having such an issue with that. She's so scared to repeat that and be ganked again in a business realm. But it hurt you so bad last time because it was a friend. It was a friend. It wasn't a stranger. I think it was horrible. Don't get me wrong, it was horrible, but I think it would have been easier to digest if it was some stranger and it wasn't just like a personal friend that actually took you all down. So that was that. And then she got into the fact that basically her feelings are really hurt about the things that Juan has actually said, yet she has never told him that. And the therapist told, you need to tell Juan. You need to tell him. And she said, you know, she held Juan down, and we know about that earlier on. Anybody that's been watching all along, she held Juan down when Juan went through his slump, when he lost his job and stuff, and she was there for him, and she doesn't feel like he's there for her. She feels like he just literally is not being there for her. He is, you know, through her time of hardship, that he's just basically judging her and down talking her, and she doesn't appreciate it. She doesn't like it. It's hurt her feelings. And she told her, well, you need to tell him. You need to tell him. Basically what I say all the time, you need to stop eggshell walking around Juan and say what you want to say. The hell with it. And that's what that was all about. So that was very interesting. That was a good session. Moving on. Mia. Mia had invited the girls all to this goddess garden party. Listen, I'm going to say this right away. Wendy looked beautiful. She did. She did look like a goddess. And what she had on, it was very draped and very Grecian and very, she looked like a goddess. It was real. She had the, man, I love the bracelets that are all the way up, the cuffs, so short. She had gold ones. They were so pretty. She looked really, really pretty. Karen had this badass white jumpsuit on, but why were the pants so long? It's just like the same thing. I think it's like this little trend where people are buying gowns and the gowns aren't hemmed and they're literally all over the floor, which I hate. It is such a bad pet peeve for me. I hate it because it's stupid. Hem the damn dress. Her pants were like that. I'm like, that is stupid. And that looks stupid. It looks like you just bought it off the rack and didn't have it tailored, and you look stupid. But it was a gorgeous white pantsuit. It really was. So it can't be in the running for good dress because it wasn't tailored properly. It looked stupid. Anyway, moving on. Ascala looked gorgeous. She came. It was an Ethiopian goddess, and she named who the goddess was. But it really was pretty. What she had on, I knew right away that it had something to do with her heritage, and she looked really, really pretty. Robyn, baby Robyn came in and shook the table. I said, okay, Robyn. Now, her few little sessions with the therapist, I think is paying off. I think it's working. We back to the old Robyn. That Robyn came in there with this gorgeous, gorgeous purple dress. It was stunning. It really was. I mean, Karen was like, Robyn, that dress is everything. And I was like, Karen, I got to agree with you. Baby, and what brought it even more together, she had on a goddamn old nasty piece of sandal that was exact. It was an exact match. I said, baby, now that is garden party dressing, Miss Robyn. Had her hair was done in like really thick spirals all over. And that broad was looking good. She looked like the old Robyn. Like I said, okay, we getting back to the old Robyn. Bravo, Robyn. I thought she looked beautiful. She really did. Baby, that purple dress wasn't nothing nice. It was nothing nice, and it was fitting her like a glove. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I said, come on, girl. That's Breakfast with Tiffany's a little bit later. That was good. I said, come on through, Robyn. The old Robyn is back. Y'all know I always used to go off about Robyn really does. She old tomboy, but Robyn dresses up real, real well. She always did. So I'm glad to see the old Robyn coming back in. I think that therapy, I really enjoyed what was going on in her therapy session. And right after that is when the scene came. And I said, listen, therapy does work, people. It really does. Y'all can laugh and kee-hee and try to hide what you got going on. Therapy works. Some people need to sit down and talk to somebody and get your goddamn shit straight. Anyway, moving on. So, the subject comes up about the video, about Candiace's video. I said, they let her put them two on the spot, child. And it said, so everybody's coming except for Ashley. She said, no, Ashley, she was not invited. And Ashley's kind of looking like she was, as she tried to play it off like her feelings ain't hurt. She was saying, no, I mean, we respect each other's boundaries and respect each other's space. No, girl. That's part of that pageant that y'all are in with each other. And there's no way, because we are in competition, sister, I would never let you up on my video set. You don't need to see nothing I'm doing, and you definitely don't need to be a part of what I'm doing. You need to keep on struggling with your own records and things over there, and don't be trying to get in on mine. If mine pop, then people go see you. Ain't gonna happen, girl. It's a competition. Now let's get it on. I said, and listen, I seen, and I talked about it earlier this week. You can check out the video. I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave the link on here. Check out, Candiace has another video, not the one that they're actually filming. She has another video that is really good. So she really is doing the damn thing when it comes to her music, and I actually did a review about the video and everything. Listen, Candiace ain't playing around with the girls at all. At all when it comes to this music business thing. Candiace is doing more moves than a lot of the Love and Hip Hop people in a short period of time. She is really using the platform to do what she needs to do with this. And in the pageant of Ashley and Candiace, Ashley, you losing the pageant, baby. I'm just sorry about it, girl. Anyway, moving on. Wendy and Gizelle end up getting the chance to really have their little thing back and forth. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it didn't get ugly. It didn't get anything like that. It's like, you didn't call me. No, you didn't call me either. And it was like, okay, well, here, y'all both here now. And they talked. They talked. And she's like, I never met, I really was not trying to come after Eddie or your family. I was just saying, this is what was going on. And I literally, Wendy, I was supporting your husband. I was in support of your husband. I wasn't trying to tear down your family. And she's like, well, that's how I felt. And I'm not, I ain't playing no games when it comes to my family. She's like, I get it. I get it. And Robyn's like, hey, I admire how hard you went for your family. I'm here for it. But no, she's like, honestly, Gizelle really wasn't coming for Eddie. She was supporting Eddie. So they went ahead and they patched it up, is what I'll say. Patched it up. Wendy said, you know what? She'll accept that it's cool. She's going to move on. But she doesn't trust Gizelle. She doesn't feel like it's all straightened up. She feels like it's a patch-up for now, temporary. She feels like it's temporary. That's a very smart move. That's a very smart move. You know how Gizelle is, but I'm glad they got it. They got that out of the way. Then we had Gizelle and Candiace. And Candiace had asked her, is, you know, the stuff that Monique brought out at the reunion, did that start like some of the hurt that you've been kind of carrying and everything like that? And Gizelle actually opened up a bit and she said, no, all the stuff that happened that Monique was talking about wasn't nothing new to me. I knew about that stuff she was saying. I knew about it. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe she knew about some of it, and I believe that she was really worked. No, I know for a fact she was really worked that Monique knew about some of the stuff that she knew. And I think and those are the things that she did know. Monique knew about everything, and then she brought some new stuff to the table too. And that's why she was wounded at that reunion. That Monique brought them doors crashing in, which is, well, she ain't here now, child. I said it. Anyway, whatever. But she opened up a little bit. Candiace was like, wow, I've never seen you do any of that. And then right after that, Karen and Gizelle started talking, and they had their little thing. And Gizelle was saying, you know, that her daughters have been hurt behind the things that's been said back and forth with her and Karen. Karen took that, see, because Karen knew she was losing. She knew she was losing that argument. And that old shit about Ray and Diane and all. She knew that shit was null and void. So Karen took that moment and jumped in. I see you, Karen. Jumped in and she said, wait, hold it. And she saw a win. She saw a win. See, Karen is a strategist. She's a strategist. Karen completely plays chess and not checkers. She jumped right in there and she said, I ain't going to do that because I don't do that. Now, you telling me I hurt your daughters? I'm telling you right now, I apologize to you and them because I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not going to hurt no family. I don't do that. I said, Karen, you a bad bitch because you just moved quick on your feet, baby, and that was strategy at its best. She jumped right in. And again, I don't believe that Karen would actually hurt Giselle. I believe Karen loves Giselle's children. You know, she gets so excited about anything that involves those girls. She's been around them forever. So I believe it, but it was strategy, baby, and it was done real well. I said, work out, Miss Karen, honey. Work out. She got you there, Gizelle. And Gizelle acquiesced, honey, and she said, well, I apologize too. So she said, you know, I want to do, you know, I apologize to your children and everything. I want to do a clean slate with Karen. I don't want to fight with Karen like this. So I was like, okay, this was like, I told you all, this was like a mini reunion. And when I got done and I clicked my DVR off, hell, I felt better too. I said, well, hell, I didn't think I would. I thought I'm just watching, but I honestly, you know, I felt better. I really did. I was like, well, this is good. This is good. It was a good episode for me, but it did. It felt like a little mini reunion. I had fun though. I did. I had fun. They were bickering, and the bickering had gotten to be a bit much. It really did. It had gotten to be a bit much, and it was like, come on, it's getting kind of ugly, you know? So, yeah, I felt good at the end of this. Now, Lord have mercy. Where are we going next week? I don't know, but I'll be here, and I'll talk to y'all about it then. Later, y'all.